Happy holidays is what I'd say if I were happy. Year after year, I always play good games, and I'm sick of it. This year, I've played too many games that are average or above, so I need to play some trash. Maybe it'll give me a whole new outlook on life, viewing my favorite games in a different light. Or just make me slightly upset for a day. And being out of its Christmas season, I picked out 3 Christmas-themed Wii games out of the definition of not so great. Oh, someone's here. Let me get that real quick. Shovelware, a term synonymous with bad games. Reskins, asset flips, M&Ms, all just made for a quick buck. These games were everywhere. Walmart bargain bins, Five Below, even the dollar store. The lack of quality control on the Wii and the broad audience it had made it the perfect spot for these shelf fillers. It's only 3 Christmas-themed games though, which is a little strange considering Christmas is a big holiday. You'd expect that these developers would want to cash in on it. Starting off, we have Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, a 2010 Wii game developed by High Voltage Software, who would go on to work on Saints Row, Fortnite, Mortal Kombat of all things. This game is not good, who would have thought? Being based on the 1964 Christmas special, it's easy to assume that it was just made as a way to cash in on the popularity of it. It worked on my family when it came out, and now I own this thing physically. It's a good paperweight. Whatever, enough background, let's just start the game already.
Hold the Wii remote like this!
Starting off with the story mode, you have a whole 5 characters to pick from. You got Rudolph, the female one, the elf, Santa, the hiker. It's been a while since I've seen it, I don't remember the names. After the really hard choice of picking your character, we meet Sam the Snowman, who welcomes us to the North Pole, otherwise known as Christmas Town, and directs us right to Santa. Here we are at the first minigame, Holiday Helper. You have to bounce whatever item the elf throws into the right spot. Presents go under this tree, toys go into the sack, and ornaments and lights and stuff go onto the tree. This minigame is bad. First, it controls horribly. You move by tilting the Wiimote, which is already a terrible sign. And you jump by either flicking the Wiimote up or pressing 2. See, they added a jump button to counteract their shitty motion controls, but oh, where could an alternative way to move possibly be? Really, if this game just had you use the D-pad to move instead of tilting the Wiimote awkwardly, it would probably not be terrible. Just bad. Not to mention, this game goes on for what feels like forever, but it's only 2 minutes. How did they manage that? The game is just so slow paced that it just feels like it's been an hour since I got the last item. There's also this awkward pause after the end of the minigame. It's a little jarring and kind of creepy, actually. I do like the Yeti appearing after every minigame. That's pretty cute. I can't lie. After that mess of a minigame was over, we were greeted by Sam the Snowman again, directing us to the elves to help them make their toys. As if that wasn't their job. And that's exactly what this next minigame is. You swing the Wii remote and it throws paint at the toys. Wow. See, I thought you would have to point the Wii remote at the toys and then you would like, oh, paint, paint, paint. But no, because that would be actually kind of fun. All you have to do is swing it whenever it glows. There's no skill to this. It's so boring and it doesn't punish you for missing either, so you can just do this. Once more, we're greeted by Sam asking us to help make cookies. You know, this one might actually be fun. Like, cooking sims aren't my thing, but they can be fun, right? There's no way they can fuck it up, right? God damn it. This minigame is a motion control minigame. Again. Yay. You gotta roll the cookie dough, cut them out, throw it in the oven, and then sprinkle. Very, very basic. Really, all you gotta do is shake the Wii remote a bunch and it just plays the game for you. Another extremely boring minigame. Okay, this is the night. We get to help Santa deliver presents, and there's only 2 playable characters. Fucking great. Well, you never know. It could be a good minigame. It is the main event after all. It's another swing the Wiimote game, isn't it? I'll give this game some credit. There actually is some strategy. You gotta throw a present at the right time to land in the chimney. That'll grant you more points. But again, you're not punished for missing. So you really only need 1 skill. We get another cutscene with Sam and... oh. That's it. Yeah, 4 minigames, that's all there is. No extra modes, no nothing. 15 minutes is the max you can get out of this game. It's a good lunch break game if you want to bore yourself to death. And that was Rudolph, a bad, low quality cash grab. But hey, at least it has multiplayer. There's very little to do within the game. All the minigames are super bland, and to top it all off, there's only 4 of them! How in the hell did they get away with selling this for 20 bucks back then? 1 out of 10, do better! Oh, we're off to a great start. Can't really get any worse than this. Santa Claus is Coming to Town, another game based on a Christmas special. This game is a platformer though, and published by the same people who made the last game. Not a good sign. Okay, let's start with the story mode. This game, much like the special, follows the origin story of Kris Kringle, better known as Santa Claus. A mysterious baby appeared on the doorstep of one Burgermeister Meisterburger. You really don't want to hear the whole story again, considering it's a very popular Christmas special. I'm sure you know what it is. This game is a platformer, and not a very good one at that. You move with the D-pad, jump with 2, there's optional motion controls, keyword optional. This game is already better than Rudolph. And you can throw toys with 1, but we don't use that until like 6 levels in. We are told by the narrator that we need to collect these magical snowflakes. No reason is given. These golden snowflakes can be picked up and add more snowflakes to your snowflake bar thing. Thankfully, there is a fail state, unlike Rudolph. If you don't collect enough snowflakes by the end of the level, it just kicks you back to the start. There's 25 levels overall, representing the 25 days leading up to Christmas. I thought it was a cute detail at first, but then I actually started playing the game. God, these levels are so boring. There's no challenge, no fun obstacles, no fun platforming, nothing! Just walking and picking up snowflakes. Occasionally there's like these little background objects that you can interact with, but they just give you more snowflakes. I mean, it's a small little motion control thing, but they introduce these soldiers later in the game who attempt to grab you, but they don't do anything. You can just put your remote down and you'll be stuck there until you obey the game's commands. It'll stay like this forever. You'll eventually befriend the Winter Warlock by giving him a toy. He then forces you to play a 2-minute auto runner while you just listen to a song. This sucks. After that, he can grant you power-ups, some of which are making you invisible so that the guards who do nothing can't grab you. You can get super speed, super high jump. That's it. Midway through the game, you get a new meter to fill, which is the how many toys you've given to depressed children meter. Doesn't say that, but that's what I gathered from it. And now that you've started to distribute toys to the kids, you'll start getting letters, which is another collectible. Don't forget the hidden stocking in every level, because we just need more collectibles. Funnily enough, you aren't required to give out presents or collect letters. You can just leave the town in misery. Speaking of toys though, in between some of the levels, you get this toy making game, which is just more motion control shit. All you gotta do is match the motion on screen and I'm getting Rudolph flashbacks. These aren't the worst though, the motion detecting isn't horrible like a certain other game. After making said toys, you can deliver them by entering a house or entering through a chimney. All there is to this one is just rubbing the cursor on like the little transparent stocking and then it fills it with presents. That's it. That's all there really is to cover of this game. If you want the full story, go watch the special. It does a much better job of telling it. I mean, for what it's worth, it's not horrible. It's just painfully mediocre. There's just no replayability either. If you've played the game once, why you'd want to play it again is just beyond me. Overall, Santa Claus is a bad game, no doubt. Very poor level design. They all just kind of blend together. It's bad. That's all I got. That's all I'm gonna say. It's bad. Don't play it. Please don't play this game. It's just so mind-numbingly boring. I just don't see if anyone would enjoy this if they got this for Christmas. Even if you're a fan of the special, what are you gonna get out of this? Just like a fun little, oh hey, I played this shit. 3 out of 10. We Wish You a Merry Christmas, developed by Panic Button, who would become widely known for their porting skills, namely Doom Eternal on the Switch. They have pure magic on their side. This has to be a good game, right? And I mean, it's the best thing I played so far, but that's not really saying much, is it? Released in 2009, We Wish You a Merry Christmas is a party game. Like we didn't have enough of those already. Although the party games are only half of it, the other half acts like an advent calendar, just an overall activity game for Christmas. Let's see, there's an I Spy Elf game that you can play, which is fine. You can write a letter to Santa and then maybe he'll send one back. I still haven't gotten mine, you asshole! There's a sticker book that you can mess around with, a Christmas tree you can decorate, a fireplace you can roast marshmallows on, and even royalty-free Christmas songs for you to sing along to. Although the main thing here is the advent calendar, which unlocks each day you play it. Throughout the month of December, one door unlocks corresponding to the day, and that has like some sort of collectible, like a new ornament, or a new song, or crystals to put into the fire. On Christmas Day, you unlock the final door, which gives you a bunch of presents around the tree, and even Santa Claus is here. Hi Santa, where's my fucking letter? On to the main attraction, the minigames. First we have Deck the Halls, a simple match 3 game. All you have to do is match 3 things and then fill the bar at the bottom, and then you move on to the next round. Extremely simple. And then that said next round introduces a new thing to match with, and then so on and so forth. There's not much to it. It's not particularly difficult. It goes on for forever for some reason. It's fun for like a minute, and then it goes on for like 10 more. Over 10 minutes needed to get over the high score, which nets you a special ornament. All of these games do, but I'm not spending 15 minutes just to get an ornament. Is it worth it? You tell me. I'm not doing that shit. Second is Present Catch. You bounce presents on a little trampoline over to Santa's tractor beam bag. Again, decently simple. You move the elf with your cursor, bounce presents over to the bag. It's different sizes, have different physics. Avoid the icicles that will make you freeze in place. Collect these golden snowflakes that give you another miss. There's 5 misses in total, which I think is a little too generous. I would have preferred maybe like 3. Every 6 presents or so, Santa's bag gets full and he has to go empty it. So for a little bit, you're just stuck there having to bounce the presents all over the room to not drop any while Santa's gone. I really like this, weirdly. It adds more variety to it, so you're not just, oh, boing, 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 boing. And like if there's a bunch of presents when Santa leaves, it gets really chaotic. Next up is Santa's Sleigh, a present delivering minigame. I'm getting Rudolph flashbacks again. Thankfully this isn't garbage to play. You use the cursor to collect presents, and then you use the cursor again to shoot the presents at the houses. It's honestly not that bad. This one was decently fun, but again, it goes on for too long. There is an end to the minigame, but it only is there until like 7 minutes in. After that, we have Reindeer Games, a minigame very similar to Doodle Jump. You just move the cursor to move the reindeer across the screen, and then you really only jump once. You can hover in the air a bit to catch your fall to try and land on some presents. Your end goal is to get as high as you can by bouncing on such presents. Green ones bounce you up and disappear, yellow ones bounce up but keep getting smaller and smaller, and red ones shoot you way far up. Pretty simple and decently fun. Hot chocolate, a minigame about, well, making hot chocolate for some picky ass elves. It's very similar to Cooking Mama, you just match the directions on screen. Each round gives you another ingredient to add to the complexity of the recipe. I think this is one of my least favorite games here. It's just kind of boring to say the least. And then last up we have Elf Bowling, which is literally just a worse Wii Sports Bowling. That's it. That's all there is. It was a pleasant surprise when I played this game for the first time, almost exactly after playing the previous 2. It just kind of made me happy. Like, yeah, it's not the greatest game, but I'd still give it like a 5 out of 10. It's not the worst, but it's fun, at least. Hold on, let me get that.
What? You haven't heard of a talking snowman before?
Is that it?
Yeah, that's the entire game. That's all there is.
After spending some time with my girlfriend and playing these games with her, it made me realize something. Games weren't meant to be critiqued as harshly as they are now, especially by game critics. If they did what they set out to do, that's great. If they didn't, well, you can't say they didn't try. They clearly put some effort in, and Shovelware is all known as for being just quick cash grab games, but I just feel like some games get unfairly roped into this crowd. Such as We Wish You a Merry Christmas. It's obvious how much effort was put into this game. Despite its flaws and its low budget look, it still did what it set out to do. It set out to be an advent calendar. It set out to be like a fun activity game that you play for like a day after Christmas or something. And it did that. Santa Claus set out to be a new experience similar to the holiday special, and it did that. Rudolph existed, and that's more than I can say with most game developers' dreams. They all did something, they all were something, and that's really admirable. Most people can't even get this far. I admire any game that accomplishes something that most people don't, which is getting made, getting recognition, getting a 5 out of 10 on some small YouTuber's channel. Hell, if I had a game, I'd take any review of it, positive or negative, because it's at least better than nothing at all. And I've come to appreciate my favorite games even more now, that despite all their flaws or problems that I have with it, they're still my favorite games. And I think that's just the approach that we need to take to video games, is just having fun like it used to be. Just liking what we want to like and disliking what we don't like. Who fucking cares who doesn't like Nicktoons Wii game that I don't remember the name of? Like, yeah, sure, I'll have a ton of questions if any of these 3 games are on your favorite games list, but who the fuck am I to judge? Maybe you had some sort of great memory with it. Maybe you got it for a holiday or your birthday for some reason. I wouldn't know that, and I wouldn't have any comment towards it, because it's your experience, not mine. I'm just trying to say, just like whatever games you want to. There's nothing really stopping you, and hey, makes games a whole lot more fun. Thank you for listening. This year has been a short but great one. Merry Christmas. See you guys next month.